and welcome to another edition of Real Estate Live. I'm Kathy Mae Martin, and I'm excited to be your host today. Have you ever wondered what that crack in the wall is? That cosmetic, or is it a bigger problem? Or are you thinking of buying or selling in the future? You're going to want to stay tuned. My expert tonight is in the field of foundations, and we're going to have some valuable conversations for you. You can check us out on Facebook, or you can call in at the number listed on your screen, and we're going to answer those questions live on the air. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Before we get into the show tonight, I've got as my co-host Tori Mae Wormsley. She's been on the show before, and I think you're going to feature one of your homes this evening. But before we get into that, Tori, I know you love this business and love what you do. Tell me some of the reasons why you do love this business so much.
I would say just probably the relationships and getting to help people with one of the biggest life moments or life decisions that they can make, and I get to do it all here in a community that I love. So I would just say a big part of it's relationships and the big life decisions that I get to help people stress-free. Well, I wouldn't say stress-free, but I try to make it as stress-free as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job, and thank you for being here. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about this listing.
Okay, so we have 155 Chestnut Hill. You've got 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. That house sits on nearly an acre. You've got 2,546 square feet. An amazing part about it here, as you can see, you have a saltwater pool. So the pool liner was replaced in 2021. It has a brand new pool motor with it. Just a super nice pool. And then you have a bonus area or a second living room. This is the first living room that you see here. And then dining area. It's kind of hard to see sometimes for pictures, so I just like to help show what it could be. Kitchen here, so obviously this home could use some updates, but has a ton of potential, has a ton of square footage, and like I said again, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, so a ton of room. And then you also have that second living area that is actually right off the pool. So if you wanted to, here's another bedroom, but on the second area here, this is it. So it's right off the pool area. You could make it a second living room, bonus room, just a hangout area, game room. Mm-hmm. So many options for that. So, and we actually just reduced this home yesterday, so it is now listed at $425,000.
Yeah, it's a great price.
So it has a ton of potential. Mm-hmm. A lot of square footage, so.
Yeah, it's a great house and a great price. I've actually seen this one, and call Tori today and we'll get you in there in time to use that pool for the summer.
Absolutely.
Okay. Welcome back. I am so excited. We've got a great show for you today. My guest today is a certified field inspector, Bret Newton, and he's with AFS Foundations. Tell us a little bit about AFS Foundations, Bret.
Absolutely. AFS has been around for 26 years throughout the Southeast.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been doing foundation repairs for a long time, sticking with a small set of skills that we do really well.
Yeah, well, you're in high demand, I know.
Right.
We come across your services a lot. A lot of times we'll have home inspectors go out, and they don't really want to say if there's a foundation problem. So guess what? They gave AFS a call, and you guys are to come out, and you're the experts on, is it a foundation problem and what can you do to repair it? Is that right?
That is right.
What is some of the most common types of foundation problems?
So the biggest problems with foundations is that when our clay soil here in Tennessee starts to get hot and cracks, in the heat, and then the rain comes, and then that water goes into those holes and those voids. And then the foundation has nowhere to go because it has no support, so it breaks.
Yeah.
And then your house starts to see signs of cracking, those stair-step crackings, anywhere on your house, whether it's a foundation for a basement or for a crawl space, it can happen.
Yeah. I know some of those crawl spaces are kind of hard to get under sometimes. So,
Yes.
like, if I'm walking in an uneven floor or a door's kind of hard to shut, is that a sign of a foundation problem, maybe?
Well, that it could be a sign of foundations, but more than likely that is a sign of settlement in your floor framing system. So the floor framing system is supported by the girders and the joists
Okay.
with a few
Yeah.
columns. So imagine those columns now are sitting in water, and then those settle.
Yeah.
And there's water and moisture in the crawl space, which helps make the wood sag.
Yeah. So that's something you make recommendations for when you go in and inspect. If that's-
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I know there's just normal sheetrock cracking, maybe where the tape's coming apart, but there's also other cracking. Is there certain types of cracks in a wall that's a major sign or a bigger sign?
Yep.
Something's going on.
At doorways, you're going to see, like in number 6 there, you're going to see cracking along the door. Like at that angle of the door, you're going to see those cracks. The interior cracks there on the bottom picture. The doors are sticking. Most of the time, you're going to see like almost a ghost door that just kind of flows with the wind
Okay.
because the interior floor framing system has been compromised. And that's, again, usually because of water and moisture that's getting in and around and under the house.
Yeah, so some of the moisture, is that caused from mainly poor drainage, gutters? Where's that? What's a good sign that a homeowner says, whoa, I don't want this to happen, I need to, what can you tell homeowners that would be something to really check?
So with groundwater, that's the biggest issue with crawl space homes and basement homes. And in basement homes, it's going to seep through the walls, through the cold joint at the junction of that lower part of the basement floor. And then the pressure is pushing against the wall, so then you're going to have some horizontal cracks because of hydrostatic pressure.
Yeah.
And then you have a compromised wall as well as water getting into your basement.
Yeah.
And so crawl space is very similar, except it's more underground, and you're going to have the wall doesn't have any damp proofing, doesn't have any footing drain like code requires in a basement, so it's just a concrete footer
Yeah.
that water is getting under. And so when that water is under a house, there's no room for it to evaporate,
Right.
there's nowhere for it to go, so it goes into the floor framing system, which is why it was sagging, like we talked about before, and it also ruins your insulation, so you have no, the R value of insulation is useless because it's been compromised because it's wet.
And there's some good pictures on the screen there
Yep,
that
so
kind
there's-
of shows some, and those are probably some foundations that you've had to fix, is that right?
100%. The top one's a basement that you have to pump out the water, and then we're going to, again, look at the wall to see what's bowing or moving, if anything's dropping. It's hard to tell just by a picture, and
Yeah.
just by looking, you need to use tools. We're going to use a variety of tools depending on what we're looking for to determine exactly what's happening. Because
Yeah.
like you mentioned, it could just be a crack that's a cosmetic crack on the facade of a brick, or it's a structural issue
Yeah,
that is a broken footer.
could have been some bad
Could be
mortar applications
Correct.
or something, so, but you guys have that trained eye. And there's another problem. A lot of times when you see foundations from water problems, you're going to see that one in the left-hand corner there that says mold growth.
Yes.
Is that something you guys kind of take care of too when you're
Yep.
doing the foundation?
So fungus growth and mold is
Thank you.
because of moisture.
Yes.
And so when it's in a basement where the goal is to get rid of the water because that's what's causing it. The other thing is doing the proper repair, because putting a dry lock or something on there to paint is going to maybe temporarily stop water from coming in, but the hydrostatic pressure is still happening.
Yes.
And we're generally all on hills here in Tennessee, some sort of hill, and so the pressure needs to be addressed so that, yes, you could fix the water problem, but if your house collapses, what's the point in worrying about water?
Exactly. Ouch, that's kind of scary, Brett. Hey, we've got a comment here. Let's see. Are there issues more common in older homes, or do the issues happen across the board no matter the home's age? Are newer homes now seeing this issue less often because it's been identified over the years?
That's a great question.
It is.
Yep. So older homes, so remember when I was talking about moisture evaporating? In an older home that didn't have a crawl space that was very big, you have 18 inches of crawl space, 9 inches of crawl space. That water has nowhere to evaporate to except for up in the wood.
Yeah.
So it's going to be worse. If you can't get to a 1929 crawl space, it's going to be problems. And when you walk into the home doing your home visit, you're going to see and feel the floors are going to be all sorts of wobbly and creaky because of the water moisture and it's compromising the wood.
You might not see a crack, but you might smell, a fungus smell or mold smell. That could be an indication, hey, we need to call Brett, have him get out here, look, see what's going on. Is there a bigger problem? Yeah. And I know we've had a lot of rain lately.
Yes.
So I bet you've been really busy, huh?
Of course.
Yeah. So, can a drought condition cause cracking in the basements and foundations?
It can. Part of the cause of these problems are when the soil is superheated from the sun, and then the soil's cracking, and then as soon as it does rain, that water goes into those cracks. Yeah. And then and we dug holes for our homes too. So we basically created swimming holes. Yeah. And then when that water table comes up, whether it's water that's sitting on clay, it's still essentially a swimming pool. And so that's part of the groundwater.
Yeah.
And that's where sometimes people say, "Oh, I can fix gutters. That will help."
Yeah.
With some surface water. But all the water that's soaking down into the ground, that ultimately goes to the lowest point of your home, which is a basement or a crawl space.
Yeah.
That's where it's sitting. And then it's sitting where it can't drain, and then it just stays wet and damp.
And the longer you let those problems go, the bigger they get.
The bigger they get. That's right. That's right.
And I know a lot of times people will do, like you were talking about earlier, painting the dam tide. I think that's what they call it. And sometimes they're just being preventive.
Correct.
But sometimes they're trying to hide a problem too.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and that doesn't solve the problem. It just masks it for a while.
It's like finishing a basement with drywall and beautiful bathroom that's been remodeled. If the wall is compromised and there's water getting in, it's eventually going to smell like a moldy spot, because organic material is all the wood that you put on the wall,
right?
And moisture and organic material, you get that fungus growth.
Right. I know when buyers and sellers hear that word foundation problem, they get really nervous. And they're not always an expensive fix, but they got to be fixed. For us, basically, to buy and sell it, unless the buyer's willing to, assume that risk.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
And that's why the home inspectors usually mark it.
Yeah.
And they say, if you're concerned, have a deep dive put into it by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Right, because they are typically not qualified to say that's a structural or a foundation issue. Correct. But they've noted that something's just not right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
What are the most common repair methods of a foundation?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there are some temporary repairs, but what we use is permanent repairs that we stand behind with a lifetime warranty. And so we're going to use things like a helical pier, which is basically a screw that's going to go into the ground. Oh. So part of those creaky floors with the nails, the nails aren't solid, so just doing like a pin doesn't really work. The
Yeah.
screw actually goes down and dives into the ground until we hit load-bearing strata.
Wow.
And so we're gonna basically prep the footer and then drive that helical screw right into the ground.
Yeah.
And we have to do the area that's showing the sign of drop
Yeah.
is ultimately the proper repair.
Yeah. And how long does that repair normally take, Brett?
It depends on how far we're going, but a day to 4 days.
And so that's for is that for crawl space or for a basement? Pretty much.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah. I'm amazed sometimes how you get in some of those crawl spaces to get things
Some of
done.
them are a little rough.
Yeah, pretty challenging. So you talked about a warranty, a lifetime warranty. Now, does that lifetime warranty transfer to a new buyer?
It does.
Okay, that's
I forget what
great.
paragraph it is, but it's definitely in our paperwork because that is a very important thing for us to make, it's the home.
Yeah.
The home is warranted. So whether you own it or the next person owns it, it stays with that address.
Oh man, Brett, there's some scary looking pictures.
So
Have
remember
you
we
been
talked
in
about
that
insulation?
basement?
Absolutely.
Oh, ouch,
Absolutely.
scary. Okay.
So insulation falling down, that could be your neighborhood raccoon.
Could
but
be.
when it looks like that, it is not your neighborhood raccoon. That is years of moisture, and the white stuff at the top is definitely a fungus growth. Floor supports, again, temporary fixes, not the way that we do it. Floor supports alone are not going to fix a water problem in a crawl space.
Right.
If it's soaking wet with water and everything is molding and you stick a big metal rod on it and try to put pressure to lift your sinking floor, what's going to happen? It's no different than your foundation.
Right.
It's going to start to sink.
Yeah. Hey, we got a comment, Brett. Let's take a minute and see if we can help answer. What are some of the most common things that a buyer can look for, from your professional opinion, to look for when walking through a property? Everyone has heard to look at tops of door sills for cracking, but are there other less commonly known and still easy identifiers for a possible problem?
I think the best thing to do is take off your shoes and just walk around in your socks. You'll
Yeah.
feel the floor that's sinking and sloping.
Yeah.
And then open the doors and take a lap around the outside of the house. That's not
Yeah.
where most people go when they're looking to buy a house. They want to see the inside.
Yeah.
But the outside is where you're going to see some of these signs.
And the nose knows. A lot of people forget that, but if you're smelling mold or a growing fungus, that's got to be addressed, and
Yep.
there's a reason you're smelling it, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I know sometimes foundation repairs can get expensive.
Yes.
Do you all offer any type of financing that would help cover that?
Yes, we have,
Oh,
we have a
good.
few different options. We've got some same as cash options, 2 years, no interest, no payments. So that helps a lot with real estate transactions.
Yeah.
When people are buying and selling, maybe one or two, even two homes, the flip-flop routine.
Yeah.
And so that can, just pull credit and hold the funds, and then we get paid, and then you pay the financing company back at no interest within 2 years.
Wow, see, it's good to have you on the
Yep,
program.
that's right.
We
And
learned something there.
And then for the folks that are staying at their home that don't want to sell or aren't
Yeah.
moving, we've got longer term financing that you can do, again, shorter term, longer term, and roll it kind of into your mortgage payment. And
That's-
so it's just another fixed cost
That's
into our
great.
lives.
Yeah.
And then the repairs are done.
It's just a maintenance, like a new roof, anything else. Now, do
That's
you
right.
do the encapsulations?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So an encapsulation would go back to the crawl space issues. And so the way we do that is, again, on a permanent repair, is we're going to address the moisture that's coming in from the groundwater first. If that's a sign, we have to address that first.
Right.
Because if all the water still comes in, that's not fixing anything.
That's not fixing
So the
anything.
groundwater first, and then the encapsulation is going to be a vapor barrier. Again, we use an industry-leading 120 mil vapor barrier. I mean, it's thick.
Yeah.
But that allows your plumber to go down there and still do his work, and it's not going to get damaged.
Yeah. Hey, we got another comment, Brett. Bret and his company did foundation work for one of my sellers, and we got the deal closed. Thankful for him and his company. All right,
well, thank you.
there you go. I know a lot of times people will go, "Oh, this has been encapsulated. There must be a problem." And no, encapsulation's great. When you see a house that's been encapsulated, you're like, "Wow, that's one less problem I'll have to worry about in the future," right?
Correct, 100%. So like when your AC unit is down in your crawl space, imagine when you're trying to be cold upstairs and all that cold air is pumping out of that AC unit. That is moisture and condensation that's down in your crawl space. So that is part of the moisture that's ruining your floor framing system.
Right.
When you do an encapsulation, we're going to put an air system in there that's going to help get rid of that humidity, also purify and clean the air so that the air that you breathe, because 50% of the air that's in the crawl space is what you breathe up top.
Scary.
So again, when you talk about being older and in your home more, you don't go to work every day, you sit at home on the couch and you're doing stuff around the house, and all you're breathing is that nasty air.
Yeah.
Fixable problems.
Fixable problems. Yeah, you just got to recognize them and take care of the issue.
If your transmission's slipping and having a problem, you fix your transmission.
Yeah.
If you need an oil change, you do oil changes. If you never do an oil change, will it still run? Of course. How long? Nobody knows. Same thing with a foundation.
Yeah.
If it's cracking and breaking, what's it going to do? Eventually, your wall is going to collapse. There's only so much pressure a wall can take.
Exactly.
And it gives you the signs.
Yeah, we've seen them at that point. That's not where you want to be. Another question. Do you do the sinking driveways and the concrete porches and the
we
pool?
do
Look at that
concrete
pool.
lifting in stoops. That's a big area. I don't have a picture of that here, but sidewalks and pool decks is another big one. Tripping hazards around a pool is definitely a safety concern, and driveways, if it's anywhere that you get out of your car or walk into your house, or Amazon walks into your house, and it's doing the right thing for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And if it's a tripping hazard, then you should probably get it addressed, because it's way cheaper to fix that than have a lawsuit.
Absolutely. And we're in Tennessee. Concrete cracks.
Concrete cracks, yep. But it's cracking for a reason.
Yeah.
Because the soil is being compromised by the heat and the rain.
And the wet.
And so when we're doing that fix, we're going to compress the soil and give it new earth underneath it.
Right.
To lift it back up.
I've seen that commercial on TV, and it's pretty impressive. So if you've got sinking driveways or patios, you definitely want to call AFS out there and have them come and look at it. So you mentioned another thing when you brought up lawsuit. Does your insurance help ever pay for a foundation problem?
Generally speaking, no.
Yeah. Okay.
It is just nature of the beast and where it is. If a water tank blows up in your basement and then it's leaking, they're going to fix the things like the walls and the floors, but that's not structural.
Right.
That's just the way insurance works.
Right. So a good question is, let's say you're on a pretty decent crawl space and it's not really a basement, you don't go down there very much. How often should a homeowner check that? Should it be 6 months, every year, every 2 or 3 years? What would you, especially after big...
As a responsible homeowner, you should be the one that goes down into your crawl space and sees what's going on. Because, a pest control guy, they do their job, and I'm not questioning what they do, but they look for different things. They're not looking for moisture, and they're not looking for effervescence on your wall. Those are the minerals that are pushing through the concrete block. Like, they're not looking for that. They don't see water. That's not their thing. They're looking for bugs and termite trails.
Right.
And so they're the ones that are usually in your crawl space. And so again, my recommendation is you look for yourself if you can, or a trusted person that that can look, or you just call AFS and we'll come out and take a look too.
Take a look. Does it cost anything for you to come out and look?
We do free home inspections.
Oh, good.
So with real estate, we do ask that you provide the home inspection report,
Yes.
so that we are narrowed down onto what you're looking for, because it's not your home,
Yeah.
and obviously we want to fix any concerns that you have.
Yeah, that's great to know that's if you've got concerns, you call AFS out. It's not a cost up front, and they'll give you some options. You may not have a real problem, but whatever problem it is, sounds like it's fixable.
It's fixable. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, a lot of people, that didn't used to always be the case. You had a foundation problem, you know, basically that house is going to be condemned at some point because people just walk off and left them.
Yep.
Yeah, they would
Doing
stay.
nothing is the last.
The last
thing you wanna do.
resort.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's not what you
Yep.
want to do for sure. So, what is the most, probably the most overlooked maintenance item that people could do that would help prevent a problem in the basement?
Ooh,
Maybe gutters or something, or
not really. The biggest thing is just it's being real with yourself and real with a 40-year-old home, 25-year-old home. You know, I'll personally sometimes joke and say, you know, my knees are not the same as they were
Right,
when I
right.
was 18. You know, I feel them now at 46. I can sit
Right.
Indian style, and I'm going to need a hand getting pulled up. It just, things get worse over time. And we're talking about a home that's in the ground that is being attacked by water.
Yeah.
And water is a powerful thing.
yeah,
And so we're really fighting water, and we obviously need water to live.
Yeah.
And the plants and the lawns and everything need the water as well, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, we dug a hole,
yeah.
and
Is there, with the new codes and enforcements, is there anything in the new builds that, you know, codes enforcements implement that helps us with future structural problems?
I'm not sure about
Yeah.
new building codes.
Yeah.
That's beyond my expertise.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
appreciate that.
you know, we do offer things like pre-construction helical piers. So if you are building a cabin on the side of a cliff, the best thing you can do for it is to do some pre-construction helical piers,
Yeah.
and make sure that lower side is fully supported into the ground.
Yeah. You do those up in the Smokies?
We can do them anywhere. Yeah.
So your company, is it, I know they're, are they just local? Are they nationwide? Are they statewide?
So we are, AFS is a local company here in Knoxville, and we work in the surrounding areas, and we have other branches throughout the southeast. And then about 11 years ago, we were purchased by Matt Malone and a company called Groundworks.
Oh, okay.
And they acquire local businesses that are very successful like our own around the country and even up in Canada.
Yeah.
And so we have sister companies throughout the United States.
Right.
So I had a lady I helped out in Kentucky, and she was moving to another state, and she's like, "Can you travel here and go look at this? I need another encapsulation." And I said, "I can't." But I said, "But let me find you the local company that is our
Yes.
sister company that can go and do the inspection for you and help her out again."
That's so
So,
important.
it's just-
that
it's a
you've
nice
got
thing,
that
so.
connection, and
Yeah.
people trust you, obviously, and they want your recommendation. So that's great. Well, Bret, I appreciate you being on. We're already, I told you the
Oh, goodness.
session goes, really fast. Please, if you think you might have a structural problem, or you're not sure, or you're thinking of buying and selling and the home inspection, or you notice there could be some issues, give AFS a call. Bret Newton's number is up there at the top, and his email address. And how long does it typically take you to get out once you get the call?
It just it depends on the week, but
Yeah.
I do my best to get out to everybody. Real estate is usually a due diligence, and a time is of the essence. So I do my best to work with my local realtors to get out to these properties as quick as possible. again, I'll add you in as fast as I can.
Yeah, I know you always do, and we appreciate that. We appreciate you being here, Brett. You've offered some great information, so keep his number there, and we appreciate you tuning in again live on Real Estate Live, and we want to thank Scott Wilkes with Wilk Production for producing this show tonight, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Real Estate Live.